get into the mitzvah of the week. Tzedakah. Giving charity, helping other people with their necessities, being there for other people, and giving from the blessings that Hashem gave you on to another. So to start off, we're going to go into the Chovis Levavos. The Chovis Levavos explains that there are a couple of beliefs that a person needs to have. There's a belief that a person needs to have about his personal life. Hashem will grant you food every single day of your life. That's all. If Hashem wants you to live, you should believe that He will make sure you have something to eat every single day. No matter where you are, He's going to make sure you have it. If He wants to keep you alive. And that same regard is about health. If Hashem wants you to be alive, He will provide you health, a beating heart. You'll be able to breathe, be able to do whatever you got to do. The second part is when it comes to having more money, taking care of your responsibilities. We have to learn how to have emunah when it comes to making more money, knowing that when Hashem gives you money, it's not just for you to be rich and to put away for the next 10 generations. It's about you being able to help other people, helping out first the people that you are responsible for, your wife, your kids, your children, and your family, friends, Aniyei Ircha, the poor people of your city, Aniyei Eretz Yisrael, the poor people of Eretz Yisrael, knowing how to use tzedakah, how to use your money properly. The third thing is that also pertains to our personal life is we need to believe in Hashem when it comes to our relationships. Why am I married to this person? Why do I have these children? Why do I have this enemy? Why do I have this friend? Why is this guy my boss? We have to believe that Hashem has a plan. He wants us to be around these people. Is it because reincarnation, or is it because this is how you're going to get through your test in this life? This regardless of fixing anything from the past. Just about in this life, how do I get through this? And then there are four more when it comes to mitzvahs, how to take care of your own personal, emotional body and spiritual body, and then taking care of other people, doing mitzvahs that help others. And then about olam haba, about getting schar, we have to believe that Hashem is going to repay us for our mitzvahs, and not just that, He's going to repay us just for our belief in our everyday life, just for walking around, and all that is a kindness of Hashem. We have to believe that. But when we get to tzedakah, we have to know that when we have excess money, when we have money that Hashem gave us, that is not just enough, it's more than enough than we need for our food, more than enough that we need to be able to raise and support our family. We have to learn how to give tzedakah. The Sefer Daniel has an interesting story with Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar had this dream about this huge tree, and this tree was chopped off. It was a huge tree. It gave shade to everywhere, and the branches were bigger and stronger on top than on the bottom, which is usually different. Usually a tree is stronger on the bottom and becomes smaller and smaller on top, but this tree was just expanding and expanding even higher up. And this tree was chopped down, and it had a lock and a chain over the stump. And the dream was interpreted by Daniel as Nebuchadnezzar is going to turn into a beast for 7 years, and he's going to be hanging out between all the animals. And that's actually what happened in the end. Nebuchadnezzar, we'll get there in a second, but when Daniel finished interpreting this dream, Daniel told Nebuchadnezzar, if you're going to give tzedakah, you may be able to push off this sentence. You may be able to get rid of this, or get rid of it for the time being. So you see, tzedakah, even of a goy, even if he has a wrong intention, because he knows he deserves this punishment, tzedakah still helps. Tzedakah, as we say, tzedakah tatzal mimaves, tzedakah helps in any case. Nebuchadnezzar ended up giving tzedakah to all the poor people in his capital. Then after a year or so, exactly after a year, he stood on his wall, and he saw how the poor people were coming to collect their ration, and he decided that it's over. He's not giving them anymore. That's how it goes with people who they do righteous things, but they do it for personal gain. The second they feel like they are comfortable with their position, they start forgetting why they got into it in the first place, and they just give up. And so he gave up, and what happened that day, he ended up throwing up and having diarrhea at the same time. His guards just let him walk out of the palace. He ended up going into the forest, and he was there for 7 years. He grew a coat of fur, and he actually became the king of the animals. The animals were afraid of him, and he lived through the cold and the heat. And not just that, the entire time, his mind remembered that he was a king. So it was such a mental craze that he had to go through, knowing that he was this great king, and also knowing there's nothing he could do about it, but because somehow he's a beast in the forest. But we see how tzedakah has that ability. We always say tzedakah tatzal mimaves. If somebody gives tzedakah, you could save yourself from dying. Giving tzedakah is is a part of it's not just a tradition, it's a mitzvah of helping out other people. Don't close your hand when somebody asks, and there are always going to be people that require your assistance, and we could look at it in many ways, but the simple way is that some people are meant to come down to this world in order to need from others, because this is how they go through their test in their life. They need other people, they need the assistance of other people, and then there are people that their test in their life is that they should be the one assisting. They should be able to give money to other people so they could go and fulfill their destiny and do what is right for them. And everybody has their part that they have to play, and everybody is going to, and through this mitzvah, you get to fulfill that. You get to fulfill that calling, or whatever needs to be done by you in this world, in this life. So now we train our little kids to give tzedakah. We give them a penny, we walk around with a pushka, and we just tell them, okay, put it in, and you're going to have a great life, and everything's going to be good, and you're giving to poor people. But the Gemara says, what if somebody goes and says, I'm going to give this dollar, I'm going to give this coin for tzedakah, for my son to be alive. My son should live. Or that this coin should help me become this great tzaddik. And the Gemara says, Harei zu tzaddik gomer, a person who does that, he actually did the mitzvah properly. The question is, usually you would say, if somebody does something with the wrong intention, as we said with Nebuchadnezzar, he did something with the wrong intention, and guess what? The Gemara says that somebody who does that is doing it right. So we have to look into Gemara and Baba Basra in the first parak, Yud Gimel or something. The Gemara says that when a Yid is never going to regret what he gives. A Jew is going to give tzedakah, even though if he has an intention, I'm going to give this because I want my son to stay alive. We see that there is some intention behind it that isn't completely l'shem shamayim. It's not for heaven's sake. It's just for himself. But what if something bad happens? What if his son actually is niftar? What if he doesn't end up reaching the goal that he was hoping to reach? And this Jew, is not going to regret his giving of tzedakah. A goy, someone who doesn't believe, is going to say, "Oh, let me give this charity," but if it doesn't work out, he's going to ask for a refund. And as Jews, we trust in Hashem. We know that He has the plan for the entire world. And just like people who don't have money and they need the assistance of others, they believe that Hashem has a plan for them. Same way as if someone who gives tzedakah has to remember Hashem has a plan for you with this money. Hashem wants you to give it to other people. He wants you to be their source and not to take credit for this, not for them to be able to, not for these people that are giving money to say, now that I gave you, I need my name on your building, I need honor, and I need you to respect me, and I need you to accept my kids into this institution and take care of all of that. Money is a tool that Hashem has given us in order to live a happy and prosperous life and use it properly. Schools or organizations that ask for money should understand, not everybody is a giver. Not everybody can give. Even though there's a mitzvah that when you are going through a hard time, you should still not refrain from giving tzedakah. You should still see what you could give. Anytime you get money, you should give meiser. And Hashem says, give meiser, and you could test me with that. I promise. If you give me tzedakah, if you give from your money, you tithe your money, and you give it to different places, to different good places, you'll be receiving a reward from me. There are still people that have a hard time giving tzedakah even after their master. They feel like, I have to save my meiser for things that are important to me. I have a family member that needs it. I can't give to every organization. You have to understand that there are people that need the assistance, and it's not just your cause that trumps everybody else. There are families that come first, and then comes Aniyah Ircha, and then comes Aniyah Eretz Yisrael. There has to be a clear distinction between the volunteering of a person, asking a person to give his money. But a person has to have the belief in Hashem, the trust in Hashem, that if a person came over to you and asks you for a handout, you should kindly want to help him. You shouldn't close your hand. If you can't help with money, give him something else. Give him your talent. Yeah, speak to somebody for him, or go around with him, walk around with him, give him a meal. Do something that you can, even if you don't have the money. Do something proper. Give tzedakah. Tzedakah has many ways of doing it, and we could still, even in our hardest times, even just a smile is enough. Remember, tzedakah comes from the word tzaddik, which means righteousness. Tzedek, righteousness. Remember, no matter how you give your tzedakah, the point is it should come from a place of righteousness. There should be no regret afterwards. It should be completely and totally from your heart to the other person. Let us live that way. Let us see our brothers that way. Let us give with an open heart. No matter what we give, let it be with an open heart. Everybody, thank you so much. I hope you take this to heart. Listen to these messages and internalize them, and make life better. All right, my name is Dovi Lemmer. I'm a hypnotherapist. You can reach me at lemmerhypno@gmail.com, and you can find my books on Amazon. David Lemmer, Who Am I? Talem Legacy Journal, The Poet's Journal, and soon to be more. I appreciate your time. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.